Welcome!
Hello!
To another episode of Between Rounds.
Your weekly crappy podcast that we film when we have spare time between playing games of Magic Online.
Perfect. So, this week, we're going to get right into it. Mm-hmm. We're going to open with the fan question of the week.
The fan question of the week.
Which this week comes from Dirigible Coyote.
Dirigible Coyote. He's been around for a while.
He's one of our long time.
Yeah, friend of the show, Dirigible Coyote.
Yeah. And he asks...
We're definitely pronouncing that.
I think it's Coyote, like Don Quixote, right?
Sure, okay.
He asks, I'm going to simplify his question a little bit. Well, A, what's your favourite piece of Magic flavour?
Okay.
Not necessarily flavour text, but, interactions or storylines or whatever.
Sure.
And then B, do you prefer the old way of flavour, where they individually base flavour on specific cards?
Yeah.
Or the new flavour, where they try to craft a world, like
and then fill it in with Uncharted Realms
and
other pieces of flavour like that.
So,
what's your favourite piece of flavour in Magic?
I try to think there's an interesting interaction. What's like a cutesy interaction?
A cutesy interaction?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's your favourite piece of flavour?
I think I talked about it before on the podcast. It's Ethicast Night.
That's dumb, though. It's a dumb answer.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a dumb answer. Yeah.
Really?
I really like War Report.
Actually, I tell you what my favourite recent card flavour-wise is probably Deicide.
Deicide's pretty good.
Very nice. You not only destroy that which is indestructible, you also erase all memory of it. And the god's power comes from people,
I like 100-handed one.
100-handed one is excellent. I have a problem with 100-handed one.
Because it implies he has one hand.
Yeah, it starts with 2 arms. Surely he should be able to block an additional...
100. 98.
98?
But then he can't block 2 originally.
Yeah, so maybe he should... If it was 100-handed one, maybe he should be able to block an additional 49 creatures, 2 arms per creature.
So for those of you that don't know, 100-handed one was a card in Theros block.
4 mana, 3/5 vigilance.
And you could monstrous it for some amount.
3 white, I believe.
I think so. And it got bigger.
Monstrous 3.
And then it could block an additional 99 creatures because A, it has 100 hands now.
Yeah.
Except it had 2 hands to begin with, but could only block 1 creature.
So yeah, it's a bit weird.
Bit of a flavour fail. And secondly, do you prefer individual flavourised or the world creation?
So what the question's about is, like, in the old style of Magic cards, they didn't have the supporting article. They had some novels towards the later years, but
3 or 4 people probably read those.
In the beginning, it was all the cards told the story, and to be honest, I preferred that. Like, you had Urza Saga is a really good example of that. You had cards like Jilt and Capsize and that kind of thing. Now,
all the Weatherlight stuff.
Yeah. Now, or Hatred as well. But now there's more. You get introduced to characters and stuff like that in cards, and the actual events of the story don't tend to come up like that. It's one of the reasons I really like Deicide,
because it has an actual event.
It's Elspeth killing Xenagos.
Well, they've done that a little bit with like the Khan's block, with like the Crucible of Spirit Dragon and all that, and like the Changing Art and Tormenting Voice.
Crucible or Haven of the Spirit Dragon is a very nice, flavorful card.
I think I prefer the world.
Okay.
Because I think I prefer being like this card game takes place in this world where it's like Mongol inspired and there's these warring clans and all that. And if you want to go read the articles on Wizards' website, you can.
Okay.
Whereas to an outsider or to a newer player, the older cards look like, why is this goblin feeding this guy some food and he's angry about it? What's going on?
Okay.
I don't get it.
Sure.
Whereas this is much more marketable, which is why I understand why they did that.
Yeah. I do like it. I do think it's a good way to do things. I kind of miss having the self-contained story.
Right. So if you want your fan question answered, leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, or email it to us if it's slightly longer.
Sure. Speaking of flavor text, I have got a game for you, Oisin.
So Dennis has briefly alluded to this before we started recording. I really don't know what's happening.
This is I'm going to go with the name of Flavor Text Fail.
Flavor Text Fail.
So if you could think, or Flavor Text Workshop maybe. If you think of a better name, please let me know, because I got nothing. Essentially, I have taken 10 cards from Odyssey block this week.
Which is not a time in which I was playing Magic.
No, but that's important to the game.
Yeah.
And I've taken the flavor text from those cards, and some of them are the genuine flavor text from the cards, and some of them are fake flavor text that I have made up.
Okay.
And it is your job to figure out which is which.
So it's a true or false game.
True or false game.
So first, if I think it's real flavor text, I'll say
real or Dennis.
Real or Dennis. Okay.
Real or Dennis. Dennis or real. Is it real or Dennis? Probably both. So first up, we have.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Composure.
The theme song threw me a little bit.
We got Morbid Hunger. Okay.
Morbid Hunger. What does the card do?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
His hands had never looked too appealing, but in this light...
I think that's too clever for you to come up with. I'm going to go with real.
That is a Denis one you asked.
No! Okay.
Okay. Abishan, cephalid emperor.
Abishan.
The giant squid.
Yeah, well, he's a cephalid.
Well, yeah. Squids are cephalids, aren't they?
They're cephalopods. Cephalids are a fictional race.
Anyway, that's important to the text anyway,
Okay.
because his flavor text is, or might be, his exchanges are rarely squid pro quo.
Dennis.
That is Denis.
It's either Dennis or Mark Rosewater at 2 in the morning. It's one of those.
That was a Denis one. So you're 1 for 1.
Okay.
Afflict.
Well, I'm 1 for 2.
No, you go. Oh yeah, 1 out of 2, sure. Afflict. When one of the Patriarch's champions displeased him, he would only shake his finger. That was enough.
Real.
That is real.
Okay.
Correct.
2 for 3.
2 for 3. Dwarven grunt.
Dwarven grunt. Ugh.
Hard as stone.
Can that be the flavor text?
No. Hard as stone and twice as stubborn.
Real.
That is real.
Okay.
Nice. Moving on to extract.
Extract. Okay.
To say Nixar had a splitting headache would be a bit of an understatement.
That's. I feel like if you were going to make something up, you'd come up with something less crap. I'm going to go with real.
That is real.
So what am I, 4 out of 5?
4 out of 5, not so bad. Fervent denial.
Okay.
No. Absolutely not. Never. No.
This is tricky. I feel like if there was one extra variation of the word no, I'd immediately know it was you.
Okay, but this is a real...
This is now, it's in the sweet spot where I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go with Dennis.
That is Denis.
Okay.
That is my minute.
That's your work.
Mudhole.
Mudhole. I feel like I've heard of that card.
Mudhole is doing okay back there, Tarv? Tarv? That's it.
Dennis.
That is real.
No!
That is the real flavor text.
Okay, so we're 5 for 7? I've lost
yeah, I think
count.
so. Thought devourer.
Thought devourer. Does he eat thoughts?
Thinking is hard.
Its thinking is hard.
Yeah.
Dennis.
So that is real. That is the real flavor text.
No! That's incredible.
Second last one. So
Okay.
you've gotten 3 wrong and 5 right, I believe.
Okay.
Zombify. He was just dying to get back on the battlefield. Now, I think you would normally assume this is me,
I'd go
but
straight for Dennis.
I want to emphasize the previous one was thinking is hard,
Thinking is hard was the previous flavor.
and that was real.
Oh, he was just dying to get back on the battlefield.
Zombify.
Dennis.
That is correct. I made that up.
Ah!
And finally,
So we're 6 out of 9.
one of the oldest printings of Overrun.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
That's the flavor text.
That's the flavor
Did you hear that? I like that as a piece of flavor text. I really like that. The kind of the calm before the storm.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? I think that's real.
That was Denis.
No! Okay, so
5 out of
60%.
60%. That's pretty good. That's pretty
That's
good.
more than average.
That is absolutely what I
If I was just guessing,
You should have gotten
I should have
5,
gotten
yeah.
5, so I knew at least something.
So
That was fun. I enjoyed that game.
that was a lot of work for me.
Yeah.
Coming up with fucking the zombify. I had to Google squid puns. Because
That one was too obvious, to be fair.
what was I
It's
supposed to
exchanges
do?
are really squid pro quo.
His actual flavor text was some pile of crap, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But so that was
a good segment. I enjoyed that.
that was flavor text fail. Soon
Thank
to be,
you.
almost certainly to be soon renamed.
Yeah.
I was going to say you should make them up for next week, but you're not going to do that.
I can do that.
No, you won't.
Well, I'll be working, but
Yeah.
I could possibly do it.
It took you. I did it when you went for a smoke.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk about something this week.
I wanted to bring something up. Mostly, I wanted to raise awareness. I wanted to make us all aware.
I'll look it up.
I'd imagine... I have it here. I'd imagine most of you who would be listening to a podcast like this would be subscribers of the Magic subreddit.
Almost as popular as the Windmill Slam subreddit.
Which doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist.
So, it's theoretically very, very popular. It's just an issue. I don't want to spend too much time on it because what I'll do is... Do we put links in this podcast?
I can.
Can we put a link to the original Reddit post?
Sure.
Thank you. This is it's the story of a man named Tobias Grafensteiner. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Grafensteiner.
He's a German man who basically the story goes he went to sell some cards on a popular website in Europe called Magic Card Market, which is very similar to the US's TCG Player.
Yeah, almost identical.
So individuals and stores set up accounts and you can buy directly from them, and Magic Card Market just facilitates that, and it's quite a good service. what basically happened was he sold some cards, undercut. I'm putting inverted commas in the air
quotes,
quotation marks. Undercut a store called TCG Discount
by buying Chromanticores
and then selling them, or something along those lines.
Before they rose in price.
They have filed a lawsuit against him.
Here it is. He bought them from TCG Discount for €175, and he attempted to sell them for €2.99. €2.99
after the price spike. TCG Discount have filed a lawsuit against him, and it's a ridiculous lawsuit. They're claiming that he's not a personal seller, he's a trader in disguise, and that he's violated the terms of service of Magic Market, and they're suing him for damages because, and
an actual bailiff turned up at his house.
Yeah,
a dude, a real
served him a court order. Now they've since handled them the lawsuit is already stupid. They've since handled themselves in a really unprofessional way. I guess you call him the CEO, one of the guys in charge of TCG Discount, approached him at a GP to
physically,
to talk to him, and apparently was quite. Sorry, I was playing with a thing. Apparently was quite unpleasant about it. It's that's A, unprofessional, B, stupid. Don't talk to people you're involved in a lawsuit without your lawyer present. But basically, a lot of people have been supporting this guy in this really crappy situation. As far as I know, he's trying to get married, and now he's pouring all of his resources into this stupid lawsuit,
defending himself. Yeah.
So go check out the Reddit. It's explained a lot better there than I did. But just. This is not just an issue for Tobias. It's not just a group of Magic players helping out a Magic player. This is something that we just can't allow to happen.
Right.
Because it's bad for everyone if this sort of lawsuit is won.
I think that I disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
I think it shouldn't win, sure, but it has nothing to do with us.
Well,
you should contact Wizards.
Nothing to do with you because you don't play paper and you don't use services like that.
But nothing to do with you either. It's not your lawsuit.
No, but
it's between him, Magic Card Market, and...
There's a thing called precedent.
Sure.
We don't want large corporations or companies or whatever to be able to
sue the smaller guys.
Hassle people out of selling cards.
I get that, but what are we doing? Getting our torch and pitchforks?
No, we're just trying to make sure that this lawsuit doesn't... we're trying to make sure that this guy has the resources to defend himself. We're trying to make sure that...
Did he set up a Patreon or a Kickstarter?
There's some sort of... there's an option to donate.
GoFundMe.
And apparently a lot of Magic playing lawyers have gotten in touch with him offering their support as well, which is great. But yeah, it's I think it's bad for sites like Magic Market to begin with, and most paper playing Magic players who do buy and sell cards if this lawsuit is won by TCG Discount. So that's all. That was my soapbox. That's all I wanted to talk about. I'd encourage you to go check out the Reddit and see what you think. Support if you want to. At least be aware of the issue, and I don't know.
I agree that you should
don't buy cards from TCG Discount at the very least.
That's fair. Should we talk about what I did yesterday?
Oh yeah, it's going to be on the channel soon, but it's still a cool story. And what we're doing tonight, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Yesterday, I went to go play Paper Magic,
which is not something Dennis does very.
I haven't done that in about 8 months, I believe, until I last touched a physical Magic card, except at your house, I guess. Yeah. So I messaged some guys that I know that go to this shop that we play at called the War Chest.
The War Chest in Dunleer, if any of you are in Dublin.
I'll put the Facebook link in there. And I said, hey, are you going to go draft in the War Chest tonight? And our good friend Steve Robertson.
Steve.
Good
old Steve. I call him Steve.
I'm not, obviously I'm not as close as you two. That's fine. He said, I have an idea. Wait here. And I was talking to him on Facebook, so I was like, sure. I was walking down the street, but I stopped. And I was like, well, you're going to wait. And 20 minutes later... and
you were waiting on the street for 20 minutes.
Some berated drivers later. Steve came back and said, what would you say if I told you I could bring you a camera and a cameraman and we'll film you draft in the rounds and you can put it on your channel?
It's a featured drafter.
And I said, sure. And so we did that, because his friend... Jake, I believe his name. I'm pretty sure his name's Jake. Has a big fancy professional camera. Okay. Because I think he's a documentarian.
Documentarian? Is that the word?
I hope it is. And he filmed me over my shoulder, and he filmed my matches and stuff, and we're going to put it up on the channel. And if that's something you guys like, we can theoretically do that more often.
Yeah, that's something we could do fairly regularly. Not every week, because that's a lot of effort for Jake and Steve.
It's also much more work than doing what we currently do.
Yeah, and we also have to leave the house,
and go and physically draft and bleh. But,
it's more expensive. But if it's something you like, was it fun for you?
It was a lot of fun. I was going to go draft anyway. It's very little additional effort. So we haven't gotten the footage yet at time of recording, but we're going to get the footage, and you and I are going to watch it. Commentate it, and you
I'll take the mick out of your terrible draft picks.
That's fine. I want you to be aware that the camera adds 10 pounds to my hands. I just want you to be aware.
So that'll be up on our channel in the next little while.
Hopefully the next couple of days.
Dennis is the featured drafter.
And yeah, maybe we'll do stuff like that in the future.
Well, I mean, tonight...
Yeah. This won't be out, so it won't be tonight.
Yeah, but tonight for us. We're popping along to the war chest again for modern FNM. I don't actually have my modern deck finished, so I'm borrowing a burn deck.
I think you're borrowing a burn deck, yeah. And I'm going to be commentating on the stream.
Because they stream their FNMs, which is just kind of cool.
I know very little about modern, so you'd be a more fitting commentator. But
I'm going to play.
Yeah. You're definitely a more fitting player.
Yeah.
I think if we add up my commentating skills and your playing skills, that adds to higher than adding up my playing skills and your commentating skills.
Sure, okay.
Like I think we certainly have at least similar commentating skills, but your playing skill in modern is much higher than mine.
Agreed.
So I think it's more fun for everybody if I just take.
I don't think you'd be bad at it. Like
especially burn.
It's a burn deck. Not to disparage the burn players, but it is an easier deck to play than most.
Well, in some senses, in the decisions are less complicated a lot of the time, but you're much more punished for the wrong.
The wrong decision kills you. But yeah, it should be fun.
Should be fun. I'll put a link to the Twitch stream down there, maybe. But you get to hear me be an idiot about modern,
and maybe watch me play some modern.
I can't wait to see some Deathrite Shamans. Can't wait to see some sick pod plays.
I really hope it's the version of Burn with Treasure Cruise in it.
Yeah, can't wait.
Oh my! But yeah, I'm getting there in my modern deck. I'm a poor student, so building a modern deck
as
takes
of today.
Yeah, I got a job, but building a modern deck takes time, so I'm getting there. I'm building Twin.
I am currently 0 cards into my modern deck,
which is
Malirapod.
Okay,
a staple.
I would maybe check out some articles before you go
start committing hundreds of dollars. Yeah. But I don't the pods are just really cheap. I don't know what happened.
No, what's going on? They're plummeted.
I thought they were great. Got my pods, got some Deathrite Shamans.
Yeah.
Sold all my Nakadals, so they're way up for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
This is too short.
Yeah, we usually do it for a little bit longer. We actually, little secret there. What happened was we got through most of that podcast and then had to go play around, and now we're back. But
now we can talk about that. Now that Modern Masters 2 is sort of on the way out, pre-release is still a while away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think
what's going to be? I mean, you're going to get Dragon's Draft up now on Magic Online.
Well, we're going to probably have Cube and a flashback,
sure,
or something, which might be what we'll be switching to soon. But I was pleasantly surprised with Modern Masters 2.
I enjoyed drafting it.
I did not enjoy drafting as much as I enjoyed drafting the first one.
Agreed.
But I enjoyed drafting the first one
Modern Masters 1 was a fantastic.
That was really good. So I can't use it to measure it against that too much.
Yeah.
But when I looked at
that's like saying Cans was great, but it was no Innistrad.
Sure.
Although Cans was comparable to Innistrad.
I'm so mad that at the draft we filmed last night.
Yeah.
We got an opportunity to vote to draft Dragon's Fate, or Triple Cans.
Triple Cans every time.
People voted for the Dragon's Fate.
I mean, you can't really blame people for that. I would totally vote Cans if I was playing on Magic Online. But
sure.
Let's say I'm your typical, not a PTQ grinder, but I'm your just Magic player who comes to FNM once in a while. I want the cards. I want the new cards.
You want to open a Dragon Lord?
I just want to open cards that I can build my standard and modern decks with.
I guess.
So I like the new. Like I probably played a few Cans drafts. I've got most of the cards I need. I've traded for.
It's better for the video as well because it's more recent.
Exactly.
So I'm happy about that. The best thing about being the featured player or whatever, where they film you never have to switch seats.
Yeah?
It was beautiful.
Okay.
I didn't stand up for the whole night.
That's beautiful.
I pissed my pants, but I wasn't getting up.
Okay.
It was great. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get that seat tonight. You'll be in the booth.
The booth is next door. It's in a separate unit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Okay. Yeah, so that should be fun. If you happen to be a time traveler, go check out the stream. If not...
Or check the VOD, you idiot.
Not every Twitch channel puts up VODs.
I'm pretty sure. I've actually put them on their YouTube channel.
They have a YouTube channel. I imagine it's youtube.com/thewar chest.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah, we'll maybe if we can find it, we'll post a link.
I'll link it. Well, this will probably be out. I don't know when it'll be out.
But we can still link you to the War Chest's YouTube channel and if any future streams. So.
If you'd like to head over there and maybe... I'll be
there
sometimes.
We'll tweet tonight that we're going to be doing
I was going to do that,
tweet the stream. Be good.
Be a good time. Again, no point in saying this now because this isn't. I haven't edited this or anything. So
yeah, the tweet has already happened. One more thing I wanted to mention. I am still unsure about GP London, but I now have a job. So the verdict is looking better.
What is that, modern?
That is a standard GP.
Standard.
So it's looking slightly better that I will be popping along to GP London. Again, unconfirmed as yet. But yeah, if I do, I will let you guys know and happily have a chat.
Last night, our good friend Stephen Brady, I asked him if he was going to the draft, and he said sure. And he wore his Rampant Splash t-shirt.
He has a Rampant Splash t-shirt?
Yeah, you know who doesn't have one?
Who?
Either of us.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. I should get one of those.
You have the playmat.
I have the Windmill Slam.
Bring the playmat.
I'm going to my house first. I'll bring my Windmill Slam playmat.
Get it on camera.
This is exciting.
Beautiful.
Okay, right.
I have Windmill Slam playing cards. Do you want one of those?
Sure. I feel like we've rambled enough.
We have rambled enough. Okay. Thanks for listening for the slightly truncated podcast this week.
That's fine.
But
the nice thing about this is it's in the vein of Drive to Work. It's a variable length based on how long the gap between our rounds is and how much we have to talk about. And this week, both of those were quite limited.
So thank you for listening. Please leave your question down there.
Yeah.
Please leave a link to your...
Dennis pointed at his crotch when he said that, so I can only assume he wants you to fold up a question on a piece of paper and put it in his pants.
Slam it through my urethra, like, too graphic. So yeah, please post your fan questions in the comments. Please post links to your Windmill Slam fan fiction.
Sure. We still haven't had any of that.
No, I'm
disappointed.
I said we'd have a competition.
We put out a call.
I put out a call for Windmill Slam erotic fan fiction. Erotic optional, but preferred.
Windmill
slash fiction. And the best, I don't know, I'll send you a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, but it still hasn't happened yet.
No.
Nobody sent us anything.
Solid 0 submissions. So
Disappointing result.
We're waiting on that front. But we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.